Make, do, teach. All right, if that previous video brought you here because you want to know how to do that awesome thing with the stimulus video and the questions attached to it in the new quizzes, I'm glad you stopped by because that's what this video is going to be about. But before I get to that, there's another thing that I've been wanting to try, and we're going to do it together, of using that embed code from your Canvas Studio video as a discussion topic. So let's see if we can do that. All right, so I'm going to go to discussion, click that, click add new discussion up here, and put in, oh, I read my mind, practice discussion. With the assignments, right, you still have that section for the content where you have your familiar adding links and your images, and you still have that button here for uploading art, recording, or embedding media content. So I'm going to go here to embedding, right? I need my code, and I'm just going to choose a random video from my density. Share media. I'm blowing through this because I'm assuming you watched my other video. If not, go check it out now. All right, right click, copy, done. Go back to that discussion where I'm trying to embed that code. Right click, paste, and submit. So again, it brought it up right here. But what I want to do for this, and maybe I can't. Oh, oops. All right, there we go. You can see that I had to re-embed the thing, but whatever. I added the watch this video and submit a response part of the instruction. You can make it look a little bit more glamorous. This is just for me doing my example with you. And so because this is a discussion, it has different options here, right? And I think this is a better way. I've been thinking about like, hey, maybe I want them to watch a video and just, predict what will happen next if I leave it at a certain part, or just generally writing a response to it. They have the comments, right? You can view comments in a Canvas Studio video, like you can see it, and students and you yourself can comment on the video, but it's kind of hard to grade. And it didn't feel right with me. So I thought the discussion would be a better way to have them watch a video and then write a response to it in a way that kind of doesn't allow them to see other people's responses until they respond themselves, which I think that's a great thing to check. So down here in the options, you want to check users must post before seeing replies. And that just kind of mitigates from people going like, oh, what other people, what are they writing, right? And then just copying what they write. They have to actually come up with an authentic thought and respond to it, and then see and validate themselves against other people's responses. I don't know how high schoolers really think anymore, but yeah. So you can have other things. If you want to allow liking, right, that's there for you to choose. And then you can also have it as graded, right, to where you can assign points, or you can change it to be, well, did they do it or did they not, complete, incomplete. However you want to set that up as a graded assignment, that's up to you. But I just think it's a better way for students to respond to a video, because I can also hide other people's responses before they respond. So that's not really an option you get if you're just like, go watch this video and comment on it, right? All right, so that is the discussion. I'm kind of teasing you, but I'm sorry. And I'm like hyping this up and you probably are like, whatever. But let's go back to the new quiz. So new quizzes, let's save that before I do that. The new quizzes feature in Canvas, I think, is super cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like new quizzes, like what's going on, go to your settings in your navigation bar down here. When you're in a module, go to navigation, feature options. There we go, feature options. And find new quizzes in your list and make sure it's on. If it's not on, turn it on, otherwise you won't be able to do this next part of this video. So my new quizzes is on. And when I want to add a new quiz, there we go. Go to quizzes, hit add quiz, and you can see that I have like the classic quizzes, which is your just typical multiple choice, whatever, are the new quizzes, which has all of those cool features like hotspots and fill in the blank and my personal favorite, the stimulus. So I'm just going to do a quick show. Sure. Okay. And you can see that the submission type is already chosen for you as an external tool, and it's linking to this Canvas NewQuiz external tool. It's already there for you. So save and publish, or just save. Either way, that'll get you to this build page. Now, this build page is where you're adding all of your questions that are available in your new quizzes. And new quizzes itself is like a totally other different video. What I'm going to be focusing on is the stimulus. The stimulus brings up this content that you can have off to the side, and you have to put in a title. I'm just going to say copy video. The instructions are optional, but I think it's pretty cool for you to say like, watch this video and use it to help answer the questions. You know, something like that. And then we have this little content box, which is the same little content box that pops up anytime that you're adding content. What you want to do is click on the little movie icon right here. It looks like a little movie strip, or a film strip rather. You're going to click on that and it's going to say insert or edit media. And the box looks a little different than how it does on just the traditional assignment or even the discussion page, but you still have this embed feature. And the reason why I still am encouraging the embed is because under this general, like this is where you can put like, I only want the width to be 100 pixels or whatever. But just the embed feature from Canvas Studio, that same code, it'll work here. And it already puts it in a frame. It's pretty cool. And because I can put the instructions above it, I really don't have to add any other content other than this video. And you can make sure that it's to proportion. But, you can item bank it if you want, but let's just go add stimulus. All right, so now I have my stimulus, which is something that is directly related to the question or the questions I have attached to it. So you can see here that I'm attaching the question. And the attached question that I can put to these video stimuluses are any of the options that I have just in general under NewQuiz. So I can do my choice, I can do my multiple answer, I can do my true false, but I also can do ordering, hotspots, fill in the blank, essays, all that good stuff. I can have them file upload something. Maybe they make their own video in response to mine. I mean, just it goes, like I said, beyond the limits of what a traditional video quiz from Canvas Studio does. And not that I don't love my video quizzes, I just think this is a better way to break down a video, have deeper questions, right? Higher order thinking, more room for exploration in their response. So I just like it better. And hopefully you find value in this as well. I did show you in my previous video what this looks like when you have all of your questions. Let me show you on the student end how that looks. But before I do that, this is something, I don't know if you want to do this or not. Again, remember, I'm that teacher, but if I'm doing something sequential, I don't want to shuffle questions. This is under settings in new quizzes. I don't want to shuffle my questions. I want them to go through stuff in order, right? But if you have it to where you can shuffle questions, right? And if it's multiple choice or whatever, you can still shuffle those answers, but that option is also in the individual questions themselves that you can already shuffle those those questions that way. So you can choose it or not. What I like to do for my, I'm calling them video labs now with my little snippets, and then they have to answer something about that lab step or procedure. What I like to do is one question at a time, which means they see the video, right? They see the stimulus, but they also see only one question. If there's multiple questions attached to that same video, when they go to the next question, even though it's the same video stimulus, it'll be a different question. And they have the option to rewatch that video there instead of like going back to wherever. What I don't allow, however, is backtracking, because I'm that evil. Curses you, Mrs. Waddell, like whatever. Get over it, right? You can allow backtracking if you want, but what backtracking is once they progress, they can't go back and change their answers. And when I'm doing a lab where I want them to be doing it with me, essentially, and they should be kind of on their own writing down some data or measurements that we're doing, I don't want them to have the option to go back and change their answer once they know the answer, if that makes any sense. Again, I'm doing it more from a lab or a science setting. This may be different for whatever you're trying to do with your course, but that's the option that I like to choose. And also restricting student result view, right? If you're using the NewQuiz as a legitimate quiz, you probably don't want them seeing the answers that they got incorrect for them to redo the quiz and get a 100 on it or a better grade. So you have those options of restricting student view, allowing multiple attempts, right? If you want like the average or the highest score taken. So those features are all there under the NewQuiz, but that one question at a time, that really does kind of clean up what they're looking at. Okay, so this is a different lab that I've already made. I probably already used this as the example in my previous video, but this is what students will see, kind of. It does have a beginning page where it tells you like if there's a time limit or whatever, but this is my first question. And you can see that I have the video here that they can watch, and then they answer this question associated with it, which is basically just describing the mixture that we're using here. I wanted that open response for them so they can actually type something out instead of like picking a multiple choice. If I click next, you'll see that there's no back arrow because I didn't allow backtracking. But this is the next video, and it has its own question. And if I keep going through it, let me find something that has multiple questions. I don't think I have anything that has multiple questions on this lab. Yeah. So you can see that each one of those had their own videos, and these are my post-lab questions, yada yada. Anyway, so, as a student doing a virtual lab, I really do think that that's a useful thing to build. Even if it's not a lab, like I said, just building out content in little chunks, especially if it's instruction, and especially if it's for your modified or even grade level students may need that extra support. That's just a really cool feature to know. Aside from the NewQuizes, you can do it that way as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you found all of this information valuable, and maybe kind of have a better understanding of Canvas and recording stuff through Canvas and using that as course content material. So anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching. If you watched all the videos in this series, thank you for that as well. And yeah, good luck this year. Bye.